Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I am your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on in, shall we? Starting with our first game news topic of the day, it looks like Hell Is Us has a overview trailer for diving into the dungeons. Not sure exactly what that means, but we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some of this footage right here. Now, mind you, again, YouTube, bit of a bitch, so might have to mute and talk over things, but let's go ahead and try to watch this all the way through, and then I'll talk over it. If it's edited out, you'll kind of see that in the video where it'll just jump ahead, so you guys can go ahead and watch it on your own. It'll be in the description down below. But let's go ahead and take a look, shall we?
When the fury of emotions sparks the wildfire of violence, it dissolves our illusions and exposes the fragile structure of reality.
Hell Is Us is not your typical action-adventure game. There's no map, no quest markers, and no hand-holding. Just organic exploration asking you to trust your senses and a country torn apart by civil war and plagued with supernatural forces. You're free to explore and to investigate in your own way. But deep within this wounded land lie hidden places, structures that seem to resist time, sometimes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause and interrupt right here, only because I think that's very interesting that a game like this doesn't really have maps and you have to go explore on your own. Kind of very interesting way for gamers to, play a game like that. Kind of reminds me of a Souls-like game because they don't guide you too much. They don't hold your hand too much on finding out where things are. They don't tell you that if you get the ring from this guy and you put it up this guy's ass that you're gonna get a new sword. You're gonna have to figure that out as you go along, or pay attention to some of the dialogue being hinted to you in those games. So I'm very curious if this is going to be similar to that aspect, or if they're kind of doing a new way for a player to kind of figure that out as they go along. But let's go ahead and finish up this video.
Buried, sometimes towering in plain sight, but always waiting for someone bold enough to enter and understand. We didn't design these dungeons as mere set pieces. We built them like old school video game challenges. Tight, crafted, deliberate. Every corner, every obstacle, every encounter is there for a reason. You'll face twisted architecture, enemies that push your mastery of the melee system, and layouts that force you to think, not just react. If you missed the days where exploring a dungeon was memorable, this is for you. Each dungeon has its own identity, its own history. We wanted them to feel alive and wonderful to discover. The kind of places that leave an impression even after you have left. Deep in those dungeons, you will encounter good old-fashioned environmental puzzles requiring you to take a step back in order to understand. Solving a dungeon puzzle in Hell Is Us is about understanding the location and its environments, observing, trying things, failing sometimes, and coming back with a fresh idea that will solve it all. When it clicks, that's when you feel it, that little rush. Not because the game told you what to do, but because you figured it out on your own. That's what we're after. While puzzles are a key part of the dungeons in Hell Is Us, there's more to them than just that. Some of the fights you will face might stick with you. Not because they're brutally hard, that's not the kind of game we're making, but because they hit differently. They happen at the right moment, in the right place, and they carry weight in your journey.
What do you guys think about that gameplay trailer, and what do you think about the things that they're doing with this game? One aspect that I liked that they talked about was right there at the end of the trailer, where they were basically saying that this game is not necessarily a difficult game, that that's not the type of game they're playing. So they're not wanting to make it where you get crazy frustrated at the game and want to quit and move on, but they want it to be more story based driven fights, which I think is really good. It reminds me more of like a God of War s thing, where the fighting and the storytelling in the fighting is helping you progress and really impacts the story or the adventure that you're taking. And I think that's really good for a game like this, especially when they're trying to, introduce a new aspect of not really holding your hand. And I'm very curious what kind of puzzles these are going to be, because I'm sure they have to be very diligent on the type of puzzles that they're doing, because they want players to feel challenged, but they don't want players to feel frustrated. So I'm very curious what balance they're going to have. And I'm sure a lot of us will get frustrated to the point where we end up YouTubing some stuff to try to get past certain points. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys thought of that trailer. Moving on to our next game news topic of the day. It looks like Elden Ring's Nightreign, the duo's expedition, has been delayed due to the tsunami warnings that happened last night. As of the recording of this video, there was a 8.8 earthquake over by Russia, and due to that, we had some tsunami warnings hit the west coast, and I believe also the Japanese coast, and that's where most of the company Japan usually gets hit hardest with tsunamis and things like that. So of course they probably didn't want people coming in or even trying to deal with anything of that sort, so they kind of delayed it for about a day or two, which I think is very good, and very good that this team is not just focused on making sure they make money and putting out updates, but I think it's good that they're really taking care of their people. So we're probably going to be seeing it on the 31st starting tomorrow. So if you guys are looking forward to that, go ahead and that. But don't be shocked if maybe there was some accidents or some things that happened over the course of the tsunami. So it might be delayed another day. Hopefully not. They want it to be scheduled, as they say here, for 1 p.m. PDT, if you guys are interested in that duo version. And I'm happy that they're introducing this game mode. I haven't bought the Elden Ring Nightreign game. I've had the original one, so I'm probably gonna buy this Nightreign one now that I know that it has a duo mode, so I could play it along with some of my friends, especially ones that haven't really played Souls-like games before, because they get frustrated. Like my best friend, he hates games like this. But if I can kind of not necessarily hold his hand, but help him along the process, I'm sure that he'll really enjoy that with playing that as a cooperative type game. So we'll see how that ends up happening. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. Are you saddened by the delay? Are you happy that a company in the studio really takes care of their employees like this? Let me know what you guys. Moving on to our next game news topic of the day. Looks like Battlefield 6 was rumored to be $80, but the CEO of EA has shut that down and is saying they are not interested in, or there's no looking, they're not looking to make any significant changes like that as of yet. They recently had a call with I think it's the investors call or the quarter 1 call, where they, companies kind of talk about what they're looking forward to for the next upcoming year and stuff like that. And they said that while other games are looking towards the $80, and the Nintendo Switch 2 has done it, Xbox tried to do that with oh my god, what's that game we just talked about it the other day? Uh, the Outer Worlds 2, and they just lowered their price. So, but it looks like the CEO of EA don't believe that they're ready for that push as of yet. That they have a goal line at least for their next quarter 1 of next year, which is going to end around I think March of 2026 or May. Should be listed here somewhere. Forgive me, guys. I should have had this written down. Yeah, March of 2026. So don't look to any EA games being $80, and that includes probably their NFL games, their sports games, their Battlefield 6 or any other games that they got coming out, which is really good, and it makes a lot of sense. There's been a lot of backlash for games being $80 because right now, we're kind of not doing well financially in the world, and gamers want to be able to play these games, and they're really kind of saddened at the price hike. But I don't expect this price hike to really hit unless Grand Theft Auto decides to do it, which we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Or if waiting until the next console generation, that'll probably be when we start seeing $80 games, because we will be getting new consoles, and it's about that same generation when it's time for a price up $10 at some point. But let me know what you guys think. Are you happy that the CEO of EA is not looking to up the price to $80 at least until after March of 2026? Maybe they'll do so then. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Moving on to our next game news topic of the day. It looks like there's been quite a bit of things going on, or new things coming out that are going to be coming out for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Warzone Season 5. A lot of these new features. If you want a full breakdown, there's an entire article I'll have listed in the description down below. What new features, new weapons, and new things they're going to have going on. But I have a general list after I read this article and just put a couple things together. So there's a lot. So I'm not going to go over every single thing that they're going to be doing or every single thing they're going to be changing. Just some key highlights for you guys. They're going to be introducing some new game modes. Aim High, which seems to be a headshots only game. Snipers only. Cranked Mosh Pit. Cranked Demotion, if I'm saying that right. Blueprint Gunfight. And Ransack. They're also going to be doing new Warzone map updates. They have a breakdown of what that is in this article if you're curious what those updates are. But they also have some zombie updates. They have a new map called Reckoning. They have a new wonder weapon. They have a new field upgrades and new enemies they're going to be introducing for zombies, amongst much more that they're going to be introducing with this game update. I think this is really good, especially after, the trailer to Battlefield 6 came out. Call of Duty really needs to kind of keep up, and forgive me guys, sorry about that. I am still a little sick. Forgive me if that blew out your ears. But yeah, they do need to kind of keep up with that because a lot of people want more of the grounded realism that Battlefield 6 is kind of bringing to the table, as opposed to Call of Duty kind of doing more, ridiculous things. I think now you can play as Beavis and Butthead in the game and stuff like that. So I think Battlefield 6 is trying to kind of more towards the niche of actual not silliness as opposed to Call of Duty. So we'll see what they end up doing there with that. But let me know what you guys think. Are you liking some of these upgrades and some of these changes, and which one are you the most excited for? Me, I'm not really playing Call of Duty that much, but if I were to be excited for something, I always enjoy playing zombies. While it hasn't been as good as it was initially when it was released, it's still very enjoyable. So I'd probably be more interested in the zombie updates. Moving on to our last game news topic of the day, and as you can see here on our opening image, it looks like there might be a delay for Grand Theft Auto again. Now, I want you guys to know that this is just a rumor at the time, where this article is talking about a leaker releasing this information, and he is not always 100% correct in some of the things that he leaks, but he is more often correct than he is not. So people are really taking what he says into consideration when he's leaking this information. The name of the leaker is Millie A. I don't know who that is, but if you're interested in looking him up, go ahead and look him up. And again, I'll have this article in the description down below if you guys are interested in checking this out. But just to give you a brief summary of what's going on here in this article, he's speaking about what the leaked price will be for GTA, and this is in euros, which I believe roughly equivalates to $10 more than it says here US. I'm going to go ahead and double check that for you guys. So there's rumored that in the UK, the standard edition of the Grand Theft Auto will be 69.99 euros. The deluxe will be 89.99 euros, and the premium will be 109.99 euros. With the premium and the deluxe kind of coming with some early online access when they do release their online gameplay. But let's check the euros to USD. So looks like 69.99 euros is going to roughly equivalent to 92.76 US. So I don't know if they're probably going to be going with the $80 thing, because I don't think the US will be okay with paying $90. But then again, knowing people in the US, they'll tend to buy that. As far as the euros for 109.99, that would be for the premium edition, that would be roughly equivalent to $145.77 USD. So if you're curious about that, that's kind of the numbers we're looking at for them. But there's also another thing stating in this rumor mill that he's speaking about, that there may be there may be another delay for Grand Theft Auto 6. Forgive me, guys. Sorry about that. My throat got really dry right there. Again, kind of feeling sick, so I didn't want to cough in your guys' ears. But let's finish up this story. And then I'm going to take another drink. It looks like right now that it's been delayed to May 26, 2026, but it's saying here that there may be another delay till September of 2026 because not necessarily know if this is true, but it looks like they're going to do a team up with PlayStation on getting a collector's edition PS4, PS4 Pro releasing with the game itself. Sorry about that, guys. I very much doubt that that's going to be the cause of it being delayed, but they're saying that they want to do that and possibly other issues going on with the game that need to be fixed and stuff like that. So it may be delayed again. We'll have to wait and see according to this guy's rumor. I don't believe it will. I think we're going to see it on May 26, 2026 because that was a very big delay that they did initially and they probably got a lot of the work that they needed to get done. So let's see what ends up happening. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for GTA 26? Are you worried about these price jumps? And are you worried about this delay? And do you hope it is or isn't true? Mind you, delays are bad, but the benefit of delays are you get a little more improvement on the game before it's released. Like a Cyberpunk 2077, for example, should have been delayed. Excuse me, guys. My apologies again. And yeah, that does it for our game news topics of the day, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to our movie news topics. And before we do that, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a second here to clear my throat. Thank you for your patience. And moving on to our movie news topics of the day. Looks like our first topic of the day is there is a trailer now for Zootopia 2 that just dropped, and it kind of gives you an idea of what we're going to be seeing in the film. Looks like we're getting pretty close to where in the original one released. It seems to be taking about 2 weeks after the original one ended, where they are now partners and they already need counseling from the trailer and other partners that need counseling and pretty funny partnerships going on with an elephant and a mouse. You know, elephants are afraid of mouse, at least that's the stigma, and so pretty funny things occur. We got Ki-Hu Kwan voicing the snake, who I think Ki-Hu Kwan's fantastic. I'm loving that he's getting work and you know his popularity is going back up. I love to see him star more and more films, and I think it was well deserved of that Oscar win that he got. So I love to see him in projects. But yeah, if you guys want, go ahead and check out this trailer. Sadly, I can't show it to you guys because YouTube is, of course, a bit of a bitch, as per usual. But I just want to let you guys know that that's out there and kind of what the premise of the movie is. It looks like, you know, the snake is trying to save his family. They're trying to capture the snake and things of that sort. So go ahead and check out this trailer. It'll be in the description down below, and let me know what you guys think about it. Excuse me again, guys. Moving on to our next movie news topic of the day. It looks like The Naked Gun is going to be releasing tomorrow as of July 31st. It says it's going to be coming out on August 1st, of course, but usually, you know, Thursday previews, you get it on the 31st. So I'm going to be checking that out tomorrow. I cannot wait to see it. Hopefully it ends up being really good. But in the meantime, we have the Rotten Tomato scores with over 99 reviews currently, and it is currently sitting at a 90%, and this is awesome. I'm excited to see it at such a high score. Now, mind you, there's still probably a lot of reviewers to come. It'll probably end up in the couple hundred reviews for critical reviewers. Now, mind you, the original Naked Gun, I believe, is sitting at an 88 or 89%. Let's see. Naked Gun, not 2.0. Where's the Naked Gun at? This one? Hold on, let's find out. Naked Gun. Let's see here. So 80. Here it is. Oh, it was that one. Sorry, I thought that was part 2. Let's see. Look here. So yeah, the original one with 142 reviews is sitting at 88%, which is of course a good. And I love the original Naked Gun. Not sure how you guys feel about it, but loving that this one is currently sitting at 90%. Now, mind you, that'll probably fluctuate. It'll probably end up around the same 88, or maybe who knows, maybe even more. We'll see what ends up happening when the movie is released. But the first review here, I absolutely loved that I saw when I pulled this up. Where was it? Oh no, they adjusted it. Oh man, I can't remember what it said exactly, but it was along the lines of Was it? Was it a top credit? Oh no, I should have saved that one. My bad, guys. I was excited to read that one to you guys. But it just genuinely said, basically, uh, everything you wanted from a naked gun in hilariousness. It was something cute, but in dumb. Ah, damn it! I should have saved it. And now I know for next time I'll make sure to save it for you guys. I should have memorized it. My apologies. But are you guys excited for the Naked Gun? Will you be checking it out? And what are you most excited for as far as the return for the Naked Gun? I'm most excited to see, what newer things they're gonna kind of make fun of going forward. I hope that we get a sequel of this. I'm excited for this one, but I'm more excited for what they do going forward because we haven't had parody movies in such a long time. They kind of got ruined by like Meet the Spartans and disaster movie and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see this Naked Gun come back. I'm excited to see the Wayne's brothers currently working on a scary movie, another scary movie. So that's exciting to see. So I'm very excited for Naked Gun, and I'm happy to see it at 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, mind you, I don't always agree with the critics, but it's exciting to see this nonetheless going forward into the movie. And moving on to our next movie news topic of the day. So, if you guys have not seen, there's a movie back in the, I think, 80s or 90s with Julia Roberts called My Best Friend's Wedding. And currently, there is a sequel in the works for My Best Friend's Wedding being written by the materialist filmmaker Seal Song. Not only did The Materialist, which I didn't really like as a movie, but she also did a movie called, oh my god, where's that movie called? Not The Materialist. God, it was right here. Sorry, guys. I should remember. She was nominated for. Oh, there we go. It's Past Lives, which I believe she was nominated for Best Director, and it was nominated for Best Picture as well when that movie was released, which is really good. Now, mind you, I might not have liked Materialist, but the thought of a Best Friend's Wedding 2 is kind of really interesting to me because I'm a big fan of My Best Friend's Wedding, only because not only is it one of the only kind of rom coms that's super realistic, where, typically in more movies where, the guy likes the girl. Super spoilers for My Best Friend's Wedding, by the way. So if you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and skip to the next topic. But in the original movie, she's trying to win him over. She loves her best friend. She wants him to marry her or be with her instead of this girl who played by Cameron Diaz. But at the end of the movie, at the end of it all, after all the hilarious, all the drama ensues, he chooses the woman that he's going to get married with, which is Cameron Diaz over Julia Roberts, which is more realistic to what would happen in real life. Not always do the rom coms come together. So it was a more realistic ending of the story. And one of the most emotional parts of the story is when her other best friend, who's a gay man, comes to support her in her time of need, knowing that her best friend's getting married and it breaks her heart. So he goes there to support her and he flies all the way there. And it's just a really great showcase of loyalty and love and affection for your friend. And I think that is the heart and soul of that movie. So while I did not like The Materialist and I have not seen her other movie, I think she can do a phenomenal job writing the sequel to this movie. And I hope it's the same characters, maybe years later they're getting divorced or something. So I'm wondering what drama can ensue. Maybe it's newer friends, newer issues. I'm very curious what's going to end up happening with the story and where they can take it. And hopefully a Julia Roberts returns to this movie because I love Julia Roberts. She's a phenomenal actress and I would love to see her return to something like this. I feel like her and Sandra Bullock are up here on a pedestal at a certain point in their careers, and Julia Roberts kind of fell off, probably by choice, doing less movies and stuff like that. But as over the years, I've seen a bit of a return from her. She's currently working on a movie right now with Andrew Garfield. I forget what that movie's called, but that looks like an Oscar Beatty type film, so it's going to be exciting to see her return to form on movies like that. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited to check out My Best Friend's Wedding 2? And if you have not seen the first one, I highly recommend you guys check it out and let me know what you guys think of it. Moving on to our next movie news topic of the day. Now, this one's a little weird. I'd say it's more nerds grasping at straws than anything else, and it is regarding Spider Man Brand New Day. According to this article, it seems that some fans have kind of delved deep into seeing some stuff for the set photos. Now, here are some kind of construction things that are for the set and for the filming on set. and I guess nerds have really gotten in there and broke it down. And I guess in that they kind of figured out that it's going to be taking place, or the brand new day is going to be taking place around the same time as Thunderbolts took place, whether it's right after or right before. Who knows? But I do think this photo of John Bernthal as the Punisher looks freaking awesome. So I'm excited to see that as well. So, but that being said, these set photos are very interesting and they kind of have a timeline. So this kind of lets us know that Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to take place maybe a year before Doomsday, and I'm very curious what they're going to do with that. And the only reason I say that is because I saw Fantastic Four, and minor spoilers for Fantastic Four, but they don't do a whole hell of a lot to set up what's going to happen in Doomsday. And initially, Doomsday was going to come out before Spider-Man Brand New Day. So they have a really big opportunity with Spider-Man Brand New Day to really lead into Avengers Doomsday. And I think this is super beneficial because with Avengers Doomsday, following Fantastic Four, or following Thunderbolts, following Captain America Brave New World, not the best idea. Even all three of them combined, not the best idea, only because they didn't do as well as they hoped. At least we're going to see what Fantastic Four, but so far, they're not doing as well as original Marvel movies, and there hasn't been a whole lot of lead up into what's going to be happening for Doomsday or into the Spider-Man movie as well. So with this Spider-Man movie, they have a great opportunity to lead into this. The last movie almost reached the $2 billion mark, and so I'm sure they're going to re-release that before this comes out. So I'm sure it'll get to the $2 billion mark with the re-release. So Brand New Day, while it might not be as big as a scope as Far From Home, is it Far From Home or hold on? Now that's gonna bother me. Spider-Man, No Way Home. No Way Home. Yes, No Way Home. My apologies. Anyways, while Spider-Man No Way Home was this bigger spectacle, this is kind of lower brow, but still, you're coming off a $2 billion movie, so this movie is probably going to be hitting the $1 billion mark if it's good and if things looking good for the trailer, especially with having Punisher in there, having the Hulk in there. It's going to be beneficial for this movie. Hopefully, we see some Spider-Man versus the Hulk in the movie, so I think that's very exciting to see what's going to come of that. So this is a great opportunity for them to lead into Doomsday, whether with the story or whether with the post-credit scene. Maybe Spider-Man sees Doom or sees Tony Stark as Doom, and he's like Tony, and he's just like, no, it's not who you think, or something like that. There's a lot of things that they could do with it. So I think this is a great idea. I'm happy they kind of pushed Doomsday to December because I was a little worried of how they were going to lead into Doomsday because they don't have very good movies following them, or at least good setups for Doomsday as they did with Infinity War or Endgame. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think a lot of these people kind of are overlooking or thinking too hard into some of these set photos so they can figure out timeline wise when the movie takes place? Does it even matter overall? And are you excited to see Punisher and the Hulk in Spider-Man Brand New Day? And what are you hoping to see as far as lead in to Doomsday? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Moving on to our last movie news topic of the day, a bit of drama is going on with Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. He's being accused of fueling brutal repression. I guess that's what they say here, by filming in occupied Western Syria. Now, I don't pay attention to worldwide news like that, only because I don't like bad news. I like good news. If the news was telling me how many babies were born, how many mothers got saved from accidents, and just good things overall, I'd probably listen to the news more. But mostly people focus on negativity. That's kind of why I do this channel, where we bring you guys, video game news and movie news, because it's more exciting and things to look forward to. And those are the things that I enjoy. But even in the world of movie news and game news, drama does occur with layoffs and things like this. So I guess there's Western Syria has been occupied as far as like a war and stuff, and he's filming on their location, so he's being looked down upon in the production, and I'm sure that there's a lot of drama occurring in the back end. Now the question is, if you guys want all the details, go ahead and read this article in the description down below, and I'm sure there's other YouTubes delving more deep into the actual drama going on in Syria. But my main focus is the movie news and what's happening to our movie, and which would be the Odyssey. So the question is now: is Christopher Nolan going to continue filming in Syria? Is he going to stop and move production? The problem with that is they've already put so much money into filming there. Stopping production and moving it elsewhere is going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to cost a lot of rescheduling, a lot of time, and which of course is even more money. So there's a lot of issues behind that. I think his best course of action would be to finish filming. After filming, release an apology or release a statement. You know, I'm sure he didn't know, and I'm sure that wasn't even a thought process when they went and found the film location. If the way productions work, while yeah, there's a lot of legal and things like that, most of the time it's a director saying, oh, find me a location, I need a desert, I need this, I need that, and then a location scout going to the location, taking pictures, and kind of pitching it to the director. And I'm sure that he's like, oh yeah, that looks great, phenomenal, we'll film there. And he didn't really focus in on the what's going on with Syria, or Western Syria, or what's happening there as far as the political mumbo jumbo and everything going on the back end. But now that it's coming to light, and now that he's kind of being knocked for it, the question is, what does he do? The best course of action is him to finish up what he's filming, probably release a statement, apologizing or whatnot, or maybe even not apologizing. I don't know what his political affiliation is, but you know, he wants to focus on releasing his movie, which has already sold many tickets for the IMAX, so it's already doing well even before the film's even done. So maybe releasing a statement, apologizing, making sure that moving forward they will be sure to look into where they're filming prior to production starting or whatnot. Or, but yeah, I think them stopping production and moving it or doing it elsewhere is not beneficial to the overall production of the movie, because it's just going to cost too much money. I don't know what the budget of this movie is, but seen from the cast, it seems to be a pretty high budget and a pretty in-depth story. So them taking the time and the effort to relocate is just not worth it in the long run. They need to finish doing what they're doing, and hopefully that's the case. But we'll have to end up seeing what they end up doing here with this, and hopefully after all this is said and done, whatever political drama is going on on series end can be dealt with, and maybe they can be helped by, you know, now this production has kind of brought it more to light maybe, and now because of that, hopefully other people that are into those things or into helping with those things can go and handle that on their end. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But let me know what you guys think of this. Excuse me. What do you think Christopher Nolan should do right now, seeing this drama going on in Western Syria? And what are you hoping comes out for the Odyssey? Do you think they should stop, maybe take this to a what are those stages called, the void or whatever those things are called, kind of what they do with Star Wars? Or do you think they should finish filming and then going forward kind of look out for where the productions are happening and like that? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And mind you, whatever your political affiliation is, whatever's being occupied, whatever's happening over there, I don't know, because I'm not looking into it. Not saying it doesn't matter. I'm just saying that for my purposes here, it's not super involved in what's going on in the movie. So if you guys want, go ahead and find a way to support what's going on and have your own political affiliations and things like that. I suggest you guys do that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of all this drama. And yeah, that's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. And always, guys, remember to stay true and be odd.